Guys, next coming up, believe it or not, we have a nuclear electronics technician. How dumb do you feel now, huh? This lady is from Thousand Oaks, California. Please welcome the very funny Amy Bowersox, everyone.
For the last 3 or 4 years, my husband and I have been contracting. Basically means you work 6 days a week, 12-hour days for a month or two. And then as soon as they don't need you anymore, they cut you off like an infected limb. The problem is he's been working since February 2016 in Pennsylvania, and they still haven't laid him off. So things are getting to the point now where if they don't fire him, he's going to quit. Took 3 weeks off for Comic-Con this summer because that was mandatory. Very, very important for us. He did 3 weeks, even though it's only 4 days long, because he needed 2 weeks of prep. He didn't have time to get his costume ready before that. You cannot stress how important this is to him. In this first Comic-Con he went to, I was in the Navy, parked off North Korea in case they got uppity, which they never do. He was at home drilling a hole through my table so he could vacuum for a stormtrooper armor. This year, we didn't even get tickets. We'd gotten so big, we just couldn't get through the 2-minute lottery. Didn't make a difference to him. We were going anyway. Walking around outside, 12 hours, middle of July. And he doesn't quote for the normal costumes. He's 6'2", he's got lots of muscles, which he thinks means he can't be a nerd. But he can't go for, Superman or Captain America, something that involves breathable fabrics or freedom of movement. He wants something you can't sit down in, something that blocks your vision. If it gives you heat stroke in 10 minutes, it's perfect. So something like a giant tree, that's what he's going to be. And we've got a new theme too. It's him and me, we got to match. But it's got to be comfortable. It's got to have important bits have to be covered up, which is a lot harder when it comes to female costumes. And not just women. Every year I see 2 or 3 male slave Leias walking around, and you can't get the bikini off the rack. Don't do it. They do it anyway. I have a problem too, walking around in the summertime, got makeup and sunscreen going on. In the morning, I look great, like the beginning of the franchise, but by the end of the day, things melt. You'll look like 30 years later when the actors still won't let it go. It's just not good. Friends think we're a little weird that we do all this stuff, and we don't have kids of our own. They think it's a little juvenile. For one thing, we wouldn't have time to do it if we had kids. For another, it bugs the heck out of Bob that all our friends' kids want to play with his toys. They might break them. So he's a little terrified of them. He got bullied a lot when he was a kid. He hasn't really realized power dynamics change since he's an adult. But all our friends have kids, and the years have gone by enough that even though he tries to just stand there and stare him down, that they've realized that he won't do a thing to him. So if you show up at a party, he's the one man in the room they clown all over like a jungle gym, and do anything to stop him. It doesn't happen too much. For one thing, they got kids and jobs. They don't have time to come up to see us a lot. I've got an electric car, which really limits how much I can go and see anybody else. It's like a sailboat, they're both anchors. You can't go anywhere outside of 30 miles without a detailed military-style plan of how you're going to charge and get back. So if you run out of juice, you can't walk to a gas station and get a bucket of electricity. It's rude. People just don't get it. It's really responsive. I can get up to 90 just as fast as a real car. But after 10 minutes of that, I got to stop and charge for 2 hours. It's just, I like it. I bought it for the rebate though, more than for the urge to get to the planet. And it's just not working out as well as I hoped. But I'll get home eventually. After I take a nap at the charging station outside of the Trader Joe's. Thanks a lot.